Welcome back, guys. My name is Jessie Chris. For those of you that are new here, I have recently hit 1,000 subscribers, over 1,000, and that's truly amazing. I'm so thankful and so excited. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of rewind and give myself a little bit of an introduction, since I feel like I have a lot of new viewers now. Like I said, my name is Jessie Crisp. I am 26 years old. I live in Kentucky. I'm an elementary teacher. I teach 6th grade. And my daughter's name is Piper. She is 2.5. My husband's name is Steven. And Ava is our fur baby, and she's sleeping right here behind me. Basically, whenever I started teaching, I went to the community college here and I got all my general ed classes done. Moved to a regional campus here through Murray State. And from there, I got my teaching license and went into teaching in the district that I live in. So, I make videos of education, cooking and cleaning, just lifestyle and all the above. I have started to see that a lot of my new followers are teachers, and I honestly think I'm about to switch my channel over to more of the education side of things. That's where my passion is. I really love teaching. This will be my 6th year teaching. And I love all the other stuff too. I still do a little bit of that every now and then, but my main focus is going to be the teaching and education, especially since we are going back to school. We are going back the traditional way. We are going back in class, in person. There's giving the kids the option of online school. If you've been watching my classroom setups, you know that it's a little normalized in there. My desks are all clumped together just because I don't know how we have to sit them yet, but that will more than likely change. So also I want to tell you, if you are setting up your room and need some motivation to do that, I'm going to link that video right up here. So if you need that, you can go watch it. I love watching teachers go work in their classroom and get motivation. It gives me so many ideas. I absolutely love it. Also, I am asking for ideas of videos that y'all like to see over on my Instagram, which my Instagram handle will be right here. So go over there and check that out as well. I've had a lot of people ask where I got the lights in my last video. I am going to link that down below. It's also linked in the classroom setup part 2, but I'll link it below just so you don't have to go back and forth if you don't want to. Bulletin board paper, I got that from Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has the best bulletin board paper. I got the, I usually do the white shiplap, but now I've switched to the regular like wooden shiplap just to give it a little bit more warmth, and I love that as well. So, and I've had a lot of people ask about my classroom library, which I will go into another video and talk about that, because that's a little bit lengthy on how I set that up, and it could possibly be changing. So there's that. But I kind of wanted to get on here. I've noticed there's some new teachers that are following me, and even if you aren't new and you've been in the game for a while, here's just like my advice to people that I have learned. This is 100% like my thoughts. So I think the number one most important aspect when teaching kids is student relationships. I feel like if kids don't like you, they're not going to want to learn from you. I always spend time that if you hear banging, we have a really bad thunderstorm outside right now, so it's just, that's thunder in the background. I spend a lot of time getting to know my students, like talking with them, kind of turning the teacher off a little bit and talking to them like they would talk to each other, not each other, but like relax. Like I'm not on them constantly. I give them time to socialize. They want to talk to me and socialize with me. They want to talk to me about my YouTube channel. So I just kind of form that relationship, and whenever you form those relationships, your behavior management gets 10 times easier. I used to be a stickler for like by the book behavior, like marks, checks, intervention. I was done. I decided to handle it on my own by building these relationships. All that went away. Yes, I still have my occasional every now and then need a little bit more of an intervention than what's normal in the day-to-day class, but when they respect you, they do a lot better for you. So if you're new to the game, or if you're struggling in that, I would definitely say work on your student relationships. I love my kids. They know they love me. It's to the point where if they act up somewhere else, I just kind of give them a look and like they know better. They're just doing it just because they can, or because they just don't like the person. So a lot of times whenever you do that, everything else just falls seamlessly into place. And you see me looking down because I have my notes on my iPad over here. So And the first one, and that's 1 and 2 really, student relationships. Number 2, behavior management. It goes hand in hand. If you do not have a strong behavior management, you will hate it. If the kids act up and you can't get control of your class, and that's what I've heard a lot of like first and new teachers struggle with, is their behavior management, getting their class to like listen to them and understand the expectations. And that's just something you have to learn over time. I've had great partners in the past and currently. They tremendously have helped me grow to be the teacher that I am now through understanding behavior management, what works, what doesn't work, what kids need intervention. I don't yell in front of kids in the class, because that just causes a whole new argument that they like to jab back at you. I teach 6th grade. I don't think 1st graders are throwing jabs back at you, but it just goes back and forth, and it's just not necessary. So I just take my time and I go up to them quietly, and I kind of whisper them like, "You're good, you got this, don't stress." I mean, like, you gotta get some water. Like, I take care of them. I let them know that I care. And with that, I think that is what's formed 1 and 2, behavior management and student relationships together. The third is collaborate with your teachers. If you got thrown into something new and you don't know what you're doing, don't expect to figure it out by yourself. You have administrators, you have coaches, you have teammates, you have other people in the building that probably teach the same thing you do. Reach out to them and go to them. They're not going to say, "No, I'm not going to help you." I can guarantee not one person would say, "No, I'm not going to help you. You go figure it out on your own." You have to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. I ask for help, and I'm still my 5th year teacher. There's so many, last year, like my 5th year, I would go to my assistant principal and be like, "I need you to tell me how to do this. I need you to show me how to do this. I need you to give me ideas on how to integrate this in my classroom." And she was phenomenal. And she did that. And it just made me grow, because teaching is not something you're like one and done. Like, you've done it 1 year, you're like fabulous. It is a constant growing profession. And if you're not growing with the times and you're not growing with what's new and different learning styles, it's not going to be good. You have got to grow every year. And with that, you have to collaborate, talk to people, and ask others. And number 4 is one of my favorites, because back whenever I first started teaching, I just kind of threw everything in the room that was cute. I went to the dollar spot, and I went to Dollar Tree and Amazon, and I bought everything that was so cute. I was like, "Oh, I have to have this, I have to have this." And when I got to my room, I was like, "This makes no sense. Like, why do I even have this much stuff that says like, 'Have a great day'?" It makes no sense. And I know I'm not the only person that goes out there and tears those spots up, because I'm actually about to go do it tomorrow, because I need some more bins from the Dollar Tree. But number 4 is think about the logistics of the classroom. Think about how you want your classroom to flow. Think about how you want it set up. Buy things, telling myself this, buy things that you need, that are necessary to students learning. Don't buy 400 little things from the Dollar Tree that are this big and says, "You got this." I'm guilty. I guarantee you, in my classroom setup, you've seen them. I try to get rid of them, and I actually think I'm going to go through and try to like nix them, because it just looks like I have a bunch of like just junk in the room. And I understand having cute things. I love having cute things in my room. I want my room cute. I want my room homey. I want my kids to love the room. They want to go walk in and be like, "Dang, this is a nice room." But no, do not spend all of your money in the dollar spot or the Dollar Tree or Amazon, or just on junk that you really don't need. So with that being said, I bought a rolly cart, like a 3-tiered rolly cart last year. And I was like, and I didn't think about it, and I told my husband that I bought that. He said, "Why would you waste your money on that cart? You don't even know what you want it for." I'm like, "You know what, you're right, I don't." But I saw teachers on Instagram had one, and I wanted one, so I went and bought one. And I didn't know what to do with it, and turned it into a turn-in tray. It was a turn-in tray. And it wasn't really the best like use for that, but I have a better idea this year for it, and I'm gonna make it work. So just when you're setting up your room, don't go for little knickknacks. Get stuff and put your money where it's going to be where it's worthwhile. There we go. Put your money where it's worthwhile. Make it cute, but you gotta not overdo it. Jesse, I overdid it. Number 5, stay organized. Best place to get your tubs or bins is the Dollar Tree. I know I just told you to stay away, but they're $1 and you can get so many. I love the Dollar Tree's bins. you need to stay organized. Number 5, stay organized. I think I just said that. I don't remember, but I saw it and I was like, obviously my brain is not organized, so there's that. Stay organized. Organization in the classroom is key. There were times in my first couple years where I graded a whole stack of papers and set them down and lost them. I remember I lost a stack of tests one time. And the kids were like, where'd our tests go? Like, that we didn't go get them in our, like, our folders. I was like, I don't know. I said, I think someone threw them away by accident. And I'm like, in reality, I literally lost them. I don't know where I put them. 3 days before school gets out, I found them in a drawer. 3 days before school's out. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, I've got to do better. So that's when I got the little, the paper baskets, and I've organized everything. I have the drawers now. It's like grade copy file, and you just have to stay organized because things will pile up on you. If you're new to this, you don't understand it. I mean, if you are in the game, you know paper stacks up quick. Stuff gets brought to your room every day. You just need to make sure everything has a spot for it. And number 6, my favorite, get comfy shoes and clothes to teach in. Whenever I first started, I bought these cute little Jack Rogers sandals. If you don't know what Jack Rogers sandals are, they're like a $120 pair of sandals that are really, really pretty. I wore them to school one day, and I think I wanted to cut my legs off by the time I got home. It was literally the worst experience of my life. Like, I can walk around in heels. I wore those to school one day. I was done. My feet were finished. So, the past few years, I have been wearing Uggs. I have been wearing Converse, tennis shoes. I do wear sandals, but I make sure they're good sandals. Make sure they have like the foam and stuff in them. Lucky brand boots are my favorite boots to wear to work. They're the only pair that do not hurt my feet. And whenever it comes to the clothes, yes, I wear cute clothes. No, I don't wear t-shirts every day. I could wear t-shirts every day. I have enough to, but I don't. I shop at Aerie, American Eagle, Target, Old Navy. You can get really cute clothes that are comfortable, that aren't like you're like constricted in, because you know when you're teaching, you want to be able to freely move. Now, whenever this first started, I bought a pair of Matilda Jane ruffle pants. If you know what those are, like the capris with the ruffles that everybody thinks, my grandma says they're the ugliest things on the planet. And I always thought they were the ugliest things on the planet until I put a pair on. And I was like, I will never wear anything other than Matilda Jane ruffle pants, which I do. I wear skinny black jeans and white pants, and that's literally it. White jeans, black jeans, Matilda Jane pants, or joggers, which I'm going to show y'all in a new video coming up that I'm doing, like a back to school clothing haul, like school outfits. It's gonna be so cute. Just invest in the comfortable clothes, and those were so comfy, those ruffles. I bought 3 pairs of them, and I wear them, and my kids are like, those are cute. I'm like, thanks. And because my partner's like, those are hideous. I'm like, I don't really care. You do what makes you happy. If you comfy wearing Matilda Jane pants that feel like you're wearing sweatpants, wear them, girl. Do you. Number 7, I was horrible at this. Do not compare your classroom. I am competitive. I want to be the best at everything, and I want to make sure everything's perfect and just flawless. And I would compare myself to other people. I would compare myself to other classrooms. I would compare my test scores to other teachers in the building. I would compare everything. You cannot compare yourself to other people because everybody's kids are different. Everybody's financial status is different for like getting your room and stuff together. It means you just can't. You have to worry about yourself and your kids and what's best for y'all. Point blank, period. There's a lot of times when I first started, I'd get on Instagram and I would follow all of these teachers on Instagram that had it together, and it was just beautiful, and their ideas were like crazy, and it made me feel like I was an awful teacher. It made me feel like I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I should be doing all this extra stuff to make me look better, but that wasn't it, because my test scores were still good. I still did really good in everything that I've done, but I had to put that on the back burner and not compare. That's one thing that's wrong with social media, is that you see other people and you start comparing yourself, and that's just really hard to do this time of day. So follow those teachers if you want. I get tons of wonderful ideas from them, but just try not to compare yourself. And if you feel yourself like worrying about what you look like compared to them. Just kind of back off from it, unfollow them for a little bit, just hide it, and go back to it whenever you feel like you're at a spot where you're wanting some ideas or just need a little bit of some motivation in that area. But number 8 is to be all in with what you're teaching. If you do not love what you teach, you need to change it. If you do not understand what's going on, you need help. If I'm going to teach a lesson on, I remember when I was in social, I love social studies. Whenever I taught 5th grade social studies, we had a lesson and it was about explorers. And I did a big boat in the floor. I got a tape and I put like pictures of artifacts, and they had to turn the lights off, and I turned underwater like scene on my board, and I turned it was like underwater noises, and it was just so cool. And they had to act like they were deep sea diving down to get the artifacts, and they would take the artifact back to their desk with their partner, and they would like be like, what is it called, archaeologists, and like look at them. Yeah, it is archaeologists. And they would look at this artifacts, and they would study them and tell me why these people used them, how it ended up there. And it was just so inspiring to see my kids so into what they were learning, because I was so excited to teach it. I wanted them to act like they were like ancient explorers digging in the ocean and doing all kinds of stuff. I wanted them to build volcanoes out of marshmallows and just talk about the tectonic plates and everything. It was just so fun. And see, like that's where I love that stuff. Sorry, I talk with my hands because I'm a teacher. My kids make fun of me too. But you have to be all in. If you're not all in, change your scenario. If you're not happy, change it. If you don't understand, change it. Understand what you're doing. If I'm going to teach a lesson on inferencing, best believe I'm going to make a crime scene and have them figure it out. You have to get them engaged. Now, I did not know all this in my first years of teaching. It took me time and time again to figure out more ideas. Like when we do writing pieces on like how to, I remember at Christmas time I did a how to make Chex Mix, and we wrote the steps out, we talked about it, and we talked about the forms of writing. And then as we were writing, we were actually making Chex Mix in class in my crock pot. It was a crock pot recipe, and I gave all the kids at the end a recipe card, and if they liked the recipe, they got to write it down and keep it and take it home for themselves to make. But that was our writing piece, was a recipe, and they got to eat it. It was so fun. I love doing that. That's why I love teaching. I just love getting them excited. I love teaching them in ways that they're not even thinking they're learning, but they are. And then my last tip is, don't let teaching consume your life. You have to have self-care. You have to do things for you. I do spend a lot of time thinking, planning, looking at ideas. Like my husband bought Piper a ginormous float at the beach when we went a few weeks ago. It was like a giant unicorn, and my thought was like, well, when she's done with this, I can bring this in my room whenever I refilm with the unicorn, and we can do it like that. That's my brain. Like that's how bad it is. Like I was just already thinking of things to do with stuff that he bought her that I knew she didn't want after time. And so now it's sitting in our garage waiting for me to teach them the unicorn. But you have to take a break. You cannot go to work all day, come home, and then work all night. Not possible. You can't work all weekend. A lot of times what I did is when I got home, I took a break. From after dinner for about an hour, I would work if I needed to. After that, I was done, because I would work all night. I would work, and then I'd go to bed and wake up and I'd work all day the next day. And on the weekends, I would set a little bit of time aside on Sunday to work as well. You just don't let it consume you, because you'll get burnt out super fast, and no one needs to get burnt out on what they're teaching and doing, because when the teacher burns out, you're done. Take time, self-care, family time, cook, get out and go for a walk. Think about something other than school whenever you're not at school. I know it's very hard to do, because usually teachers love their jobs and love to think of new things, but you have to take it from me. Promise you, give you that time. I have changed that in my life to where I have not consumed myself with it, and I'm much happier. I feel much more clear-minded when I go to work. I feel much more well-rested when I go to work, and it's just life-changing. But I'm gonna wrap it up there with this video. Like I said, thank you all so much for all my new subscribers. If you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that button. I upload videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. coming up. I'm planning a few more. I'm having a back to school series and I'm super excited. I have lots of things planned for you all. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else to share with y'all, but I hope y'all have an amazing weekend or day or week whenever you're sitting down watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time.